Hi, I'm Jonathan Spragg from Meet the Boss TV. For this week's Solution Provider Focus, I've come to London, to the European headquarters of Canon. Canon's corporate philosophy is Kaiase, working and living together for the common good. Well, joining me to discuss this philosophical foundation stone and Canon's new customer-centric approach is Gary Horsfall, their head of consultancy services. Canon Europe was established in 1957. It employs over 11,000 people and serves customers in 110 countries in Europe, Middle East and Africa. It is proudly the most prolific inventor of both consumer and professional imaging solutions. It has had 26,527 US patents granted to it in its 70-year corporate history. When I met Gary, we talked about the critical role of innovation, the ongoing journey between manufacturing and business service, and the strategic partnerships that he's established. But first I asked, what were the secrets to Canon's success?
We plough an enormous amount of money into research and development. And even when things have been tough, when the recession and the market was depressed, we continued to invest in research and development. So we still spend between 9.5–10% of our worldwide revenues on research and development. It's such an important part for Canon to invent its own technology and then to use that technology in its industry-leading products. And that's really the thing that keeps Canon to the fore in its chosen markets.
I think everyone recognises in a way that firstly Canon, the camera, but of course there's so much more to the company now. Where do Canon's strengths now lie?
I think we have a very complex business now in Canon worldwide. We have the camera business, as you say, but that's now diversified into video, but also the printing business. It was copiers, but now it's infrastructure and printing services. Those are our main two core businesses in Europe, but then there's the medical business, and in Asia there's numerous other businesses that currently we don't have in Europe. But Canon continues to push the boundaries in all these areas of business. But in Europe our focus is the camera, video and photo and the printing infrastructure business.
There has been an evolution obviously within the culture as well here at Canon from when it first started. There's so much, Canon's so steeped in history. How has that challenge been to change the culture for a company that's so huge?
I think the culture's developed, but I don't think it's fundamentally changed. I think we have the same values as when we started. We have our Kaiose heritage, which is really, we genuinely believe in getting compromise and getting understanding and living in harmony between products, people, processes, company. And Canon genuinely shares these attributes with its employees. Our attrition rate on staff leaving is very, very low because we do actually care a lot about our employees, a lot about what they think, and we try and get this work-life balance right. And we even extend that into the way we deal with our customers. And we maintain these values, as I say, through crises, through dips in the market, problems. We continue to actually show these attributes.
There are new areas of business on the horizon for Canon. So I wanted to know, how was innovation shaping the future of Canon's product and business strategy? And what does it actually mean for the growth of the organisation?
The unique position for Canon is that we have a heritage of photography, we have a heritage of video, we have a thorough understanding of print and all its aspects. So if you start to collide these technologies, and what's happening from a technology perspective is the interfaces are becoming common. So people don't think twice now about taking a memory slice out of a camera and then loading it into their PC, loading things onto the internet, printing things out. All these things are starting to merge, and that's the exciting business of the future, is how do you manage these multimedia environments effectively? And in business, how do you use that and actually turn it into your advantage over your competitors? And Canon's making big strides to move from being a product-led. Yes, we're always going to make products. We'll always aim to be number one in all our chosen market segments for products. But what we'll start to do is to add services to this to make sure that customers get the maximum out of the products that they buy.
You just mentioned the word customers. It was sort of part of my next question, really. Customer centricity, I mean, what does that mean here at Canon?
For us, it's very much a belief that the customer knows best. And often, maybe in the past, where we had a product-led sales, people manufactured products and then sold the product to the customer. Now we're much more listening to our customers. And it was technology-led, it was innovation-led. So people created a new piece of exciting technology that was put into the product, and they were then sold to the customers. Now we're listening much more to our customers about what they actually want and what they actually need. And that information is then being used in the preparation of the new generation of products. So it really means putting the customer at the heart of our business and really understanding what they want and what they need, and then developing technology that meets that demand from our customers. And I think the big step forward in Canon is that we recognize that whilst we are number one in lots of different areas, we can't be the expert on everything. The modern world is too complicated, it's too difficult. So the big push in Canon in developing new businesses is going to be, who do we partner with? Who can bring something different? Who can bring something unique, something exciting that adds real value or unleashes the potential of a feature of a Canon product? And that's going to be the businesses of the future, is finding the right partners with the right profile, the right credibility, the sort of partners Canon wants to work with, not just as a supplier of product, but as a genuine strategic partnership to actually deliver something that much better to the customer.
Has it been a natural process moving from sort of being product focused to being more sort of customer focused? Has it just developed?
Changing from a process that's very well documented, very sound, very robust process to a more dynamic process is a big challenge. And it's not just the processes, it's actually the people. It's bringing the people with you in those changes. So there's been, from an organizational point of view, we have to develop our people to meet the challenges of this new world. And that's one of the big challenges, is actually getting the right people with the right skills to meet the challenges of the new environment.
There is a real customer-centric approach here at Canon, helping customers to achieve their core business goals. So I asked Gary, how were strategic partnerships helping Canon establish long-term relationships that build on sales as well as business opportunities?
I think a good example is we've actually acquired a number of companies in this area, and they tend to be small niche software companies who have a different way of working. As I said previously, they're very quick, they respond very quickly, they move very quickly. And we acquired a company called Entware, which is a small German company, and there was a feeling that when a large company takes over a small company, that the small company disappears. But we keep the company completely separate. They've kept their own name, they kept their own identity. They manage themselves, and obviously we are a strategic part of what they do. We provide input to them, but their creativity, the way in which they do things, the processes that you have, we keep them away from Canon, so that we don't, strangle them or restrict them in any way. We actually want to keep them vibrant. We want to keep them quick. We want to keep them to keep those processes, to be close to the customer and continue to do the things that we do. So it's a good example of a large company working with a smaller company and not interfering too much. And that's the type of approach that we want. We want to give them the financial stability. We want to give them access to new markets. We want them to use the Canon relationships, but to keep their uniqueness and not be sort of, as it were, absorbed into this big organization. So we've done this in a number of different ways in a number of different software companies, and we've taken small acquisitions, we've also taken significant acquisitions, and that process will continue. And we do exactly the same with somebody who we have no financial interest in. We don't want to impose ourselves upon them. We want them to bring something unique, something that complements or adds to what we do. And that's where you get the real benefit.
There has been a change of focus. There is a new business model. You're in charge of a new sort of business sector within Canon. Where do you see the future? Will it be developing what you already have now?
I think there will be an element of that, but I think the key in the future is going to be, I think we've talked about it used to be having access to a product, then it would be having access to a piece of software, and these were very generic. Now we're talking about customizing software, and in the future we're going to talk about personalization. You're going to want solutions for you in your business that actually meet what you want to do. You know, not of I've got to do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. You help me do it the way that I want to do it. But